Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So you'll see this book, you would have seen it in one of my first videos. This is an old book that I was converting into an art journal, and to be honest, I wasn't vibing a lot with this one. It just seems when it just seemed like, I don't know if it's just because like I hadn't done anything with the cover yet, or the fact that it was so old and I could see that it was really falling apart. And unfortunately, it did fall apart. So I might try to repurpose this, but it's old. I'm not sure. I'll probably end up maybe salvaging the front and back cover and maybe discarding this. Apologies for the wobbly camera because I am hitting the pole that it's sitting on. It's very wobbly. So yeah, I'm thinking of like maybe salvaging like these two pieces and throwing this out. This kind of made me sad that it fell apart, but at the same time I wasn't vibing with it, and I just had a feeling it was just gonna come apart. So from about, if I can find it here, this is the original picture that was in the book. This is like real penmanship. It's literally signed by this man here, which is pretty cool. So I wanted to save this picture in the book, and so yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it because I think it's just a really nice like antique piece to put in a journal. There's other pieces that I had started in here. I'm not sure if I have any in these singular ones, but I can show you. Like I have something written down that goes with this one. I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. Like for example, like this one here, I had this and this that goes together. Now like they're falling apart, right? And then I have that one that goes with this. So I'll have to figure them out and set them together. I have another write-up for the sun. Another thing I did, like I glued my kitty's picture in here. I was going to do like all my pets that I have a little section for them. But again, like all of these are going to have to be repurposed into, these are all these signatures that came out. And look at me, in one of my videos, I didn't know the terms, but now I know because I've been watching way too many YouTube videos on journaling and creating all my own books. And so yeah, so these will be repurposed into another journal, which I'll probably show you here. They might not all go in this one because I have a bit of an idea of what I want to do with this one here with the leaves here, but I'll show you after. So I just want to go to this one. So this leathery cover is something I already had. I had ordered this, honestly I can't remember, but I probably got it on Amazon. It's one of those like little travel journals with the elastics on the inside with like the booklet inserts. Those booklets, I took them out a while back, and I don't know what I did with them. Most of them I probably threw out because I'm just one of those people that start something and never finish. And then if I find it again, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I'm just going to rip out papers and whatnot. So to show you what I did in here, I took this sketchbook and I took out some of the signatures in this book. These ones were all sewn in. So I just literally just took out the signatures, the full signatures that way. There's a few things in here. I'm not going to show you all because there's some private information. I had did a moon cycle for the month of July, and I think this was July of last year. I'm pretty sure I got this book last year. So I was just experimenting with some crayons here. I drew a bobolink and then wrote a little thing on the bobolink. My husband and I go cycling near, and then in one of the areas we stop, there's a little hobby farm, and if the ponies are out, we go visit them. And I saw this bird for the first time that year, and this duck, and I found it absolutely beautiful. And I was like, I'm going to draw it in here. So these pages, I am probably going to salvage some of these. I might just have to like rewrite this on another piece as well as that and that, just to salvage, because I think these are like glued on pretty good. I might be able to take them off. This is a picture of my grandfather's house and what it looked like, and I kept asking my family members to send me a picture, and this is just a little like a little memory of my time spent there. And Here is a nice little bear. I usually have a reference that I use for these, and I really liked how this one was, and I just kind of copied from the reference, and you know, this just goes over a dream I had. And I absolutely love these owls. My grandfather and I rescued one out of his I don't know, it wasn't really a barn, like a shed, storage shed type thing. There was one trapped in his shed, and it was a young one, and it was quite small. And I went and got my grandfather. I found it because his dog was like sleeping in that shed. He would be go in and out, and when it was hot, he'd go in there because it was cooler. And I ended up spotting. I heard something, and I spotted this owl. So I always have. I don't know why, but I just felt quite connected. And then here, I'm just gonna hide my information here. I just did a drawing of my pets. I have 2 wiener dogs. We have a rescue dog. He's like a mutt, and a black and white cat. And that's the kitty that I showed you a moment ago in the other one. So yeah, so these I'll probably transfer into my other journal that I did. But I just took signatures out of these ones to repurpose them. I put them in here. So I'm just gonna find the middle. So like here, there's 2 signatures and there's like elastics. So in these, I'll probably end up replenishing as I go, and you know, I won't take from this. I think I have a few signatures left of this, so I'm probably gonna go one at a time. And I did sewing here to bind them again together, and I just took this really nice magenta embroidery thread. And what I'm using this for is I was recommended the book The Artist's Way, and I just got it today, that book actually, so I can't wait to get it started. And they talk about morning pages, excuse me. They talk about morning pages, and I was briefly described like what it is, where you write first thing in the morning, you just kind of journal for 3 pages. And so I'm going to start using this as a journaling process here. As you can see, I just did a dedication for that. And then I think I started yesterday. And this is the beautiful cover, inside cover that I did for this booklet. I printed this picture for another project, and I'll show you briefly because it's actually correlated to this book here, but it was too big for my liking, so I ended up just collaging some crafting paper and then putting this on top, and this is like some washi tape, and I just found all the colors just went so well together, and I just absolutely love this picture. It's just, oh my gosh, I just love it. And I just printed this on what's called brochure paper. It's a very glossy paper. It kind of reminds me of like photo paper, and for some reason they labeled it brochure paper. And I think it was last year I was trying jelly plate printing, and they said like good paper to use would be like a brochure paper, but the type of paper they were using on their videos was not the same paper that I bought. And I got stuck with like $50 worth of this weird glossy paper, but I will actually put it to good use now with these newer projects that I'm doing, because it does print quite well with the inkjet. So yeah, this picture is absolutely beautiful. A spirit animal of mine, and which is why he's on the cover of this book. Actually, this is not why he's on the cover of that book. He's in the cover of this book because I had that big spare one. And so yeah, so this will be my morning pages. The red sketchbook, I'll probably repurpose this. I might even have to remove more because there's definitely still too much papers here. And I might have to embellish the cover because I'm not a big fan of the red cover. And I don't know why, but in the video it looks a lot more red than it actually is when I look at it off camera. So this is the other book. So this is one of, I was going to go to a used bookstore, like a donation place where like you just go donate books and then they sell them for super cheap. But I decided to see what I had on the shelf at home that was just collecting dust, that I knew that it's a book that I bought and I'll probably never read. I get discounted books on a website. This is not a plug, by the way. I'm not sponsored in any way. But I haven't ordered from there in a very long time because I had been buying some digital books on my Kindle. I used to get really good discounted books on bookoutlet.ca. I'm in Canada. If you're in the US, it would be .com. And yeah, so like this book had a little marker on it, so it was discounted. And so, but when I saw this cover, I was like, oh my god, like I removed the sleeve off of it. I'm like, look at this beautiful yellow. Yellow is not my favorite color, but this book, it has this awesome, I don't know if you can see it. It has this awesome patterning to it, just naturally. It's a little bit dirty. There's probably watercolors on here because I was painting and I'm not really protecting my book very well, because I started working in here already, as you can see the tabs. And so I'm going to show you the cover now because I know you've seen it. So I ended up putting, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to put the stag on the front cover of this book. So I had to print a smaller version. I love this shiny paper that's behind it. This is great. I'd absolutely love it. I was really on the fence of putting this. I looked at another one. I liked this one better, but then when I had the photo on the book without that, I was like, it looks good as well. But then my heart just told me, no, put the shiny paper, and I did, and I don't regret it. I bought this material just to hide the writing on the spine of the book, and it goes so well together. I have the same material on the inside here. I have some like collage paper here, and this is just like the spiritual meaning of the stag. And then I put a little pansy here that I took from my front yard. I had squished it in a book, but now I have it sealed with glue, even though it wasn't completely dry, so that should be good to keep it nice and sealed. That was just the name of the book that was in here. I just kept those 2 pages. In between these 2 pages, there was a map of the book. At first, I didn't glue it because I thought I would just keep it. It looked kind of cool, but then I found it kind of clashy, so I decided to glue these 2 pages together. I did start this, and I have reasons why I did it, what I've started with. I know they say don't start at the beginning of your book. You might regret what you put at the beginning of your book, but for me, like this is just, it's just perfect. So the purple iris, and then this is my grandmother, my paternal grandmother. I started this, but I'm not quite done. I'm gonna have a little write-up here. And I am gonna add more pictures of my other grandparents. I have a picture of my grandfather, who she was married to, and but they did separate, but they weren't together anymore in the end. But I never met my grandfather, but I did meet her a few times in my life. I wish I would have known her better. But anyways, so this is that, correlates to that. This correlates to everything else. I went to this, my very first psychic circle, mediumship circle the other night, and this is what all of these first pages really represent. The chair I sat in had this oracle card in it, or some kind of activation card. I would say it's an oracle, type of oracle card. This is just here for decoration because I didn't like the plain brown paper that's here because I have this big write-up on it. I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit. Yeah, I have that write-up. That's just the write-up that was in the booklet for the representation meaning of what that card represents. Oops. And I'm just trying to steady my camera here. Just bear with me for a minute. And then after that, for that card, it just says work your light activation. And then there's words that follow, which are here. So I put all of that together, nice little flaps. I'm telling you, for my very first one, since the other one failed, I'm really liking how this one's going so far. So what I did for this book is I flipped 2 pages, tore 2 pages, flipped 2 pages, tore 2 pages, and so on to the very end of the book. Those first few pages, like I said, there was a map there. I had left them as like just single pages until I decided at the end to glue those ones together. These I just did today because if I flip this one and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, there's another one. So I made a mark for every fourth, for after every four, the fifth one would be a pocket page. So this, I can just open it up and it's a pocket, so I can put papers in there if I want to, if it's not something I see fit to glue. And all I've done so far to most of these pages, except for the ones I've already worked on, is just glue them. I do have to go over some of it because I just did it with a glue stick, and then I'm going over them with white glue for the ones that I see that I've separated a little bit, just to kind of glue them again. But I'm going to do that as I go because I think like this old one here where I've prepped some of the gesso on some pages ahead of time, I found that, excuse me, I found that too time consuming, and I'm like, why not just do it as I go? So as you see here in the brown page, I took some test pages just to see if I put two pages together, if I had to gesso first, just to see how the paint would end up being on it. But in the end, I ended up using, I think I ended up using watercolor. My test pages, I was using kind of more of a diluted acrylic paint, and I didn't really like how it was turning out. So I did decide to gesso first, which going forward I will do. And when it comes to writing on the pages, I'm probably just going to use a mixed media page and just write on it and then glue it in or tape it in, depending if I want to do a flap or whatever. This one here, it's not a flap. I just glued her picture on some papers. There's a nice little flower here there that goes with the other one. Put a little butterfly there. I love the color because it matches the kind of sepia look to her photo, and I went with browns and golds just because it matched her antique photo. Now going back to this with the pockets, so every so many pages, where's the next one, has one of these because it's just letting me know that one is a pocket page. Before I did this, I just had a little pen dot there that was kind of like labeling. Now you see these tabs area. This is me being an idiot and making an error when it came to gluing my pages together. And I was like, oh, I was like, no, I was like, I glued the wrong page. Now every area or every two pages where I ripped out, the pages that were in between those, that's where I would have ripped. The next two pages, those ones are glued together. Now these pages are glued together just to create a thicker page, basically. So made the mistake here. Well, might as well take crafting paper and embellishing it, making it pretty. And I added that too. And this is just some washi tape here as well. And I did another error here, and I did that one this way. And then I did this one. This one is napkin, actually. So I added that there. I think that was the only mistake. This is the last pocket, and because I had 3 pages and not 2, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do a double pocket. So this is just showing me that I have 1 entry here and there's 1 entry here for a pocket. And I think I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got these 4 glued. These last 2 I wasn't going to, but then I decided to, and then this one is fine though as is. And then of course I put more material here to match the binding here. So yeah, that's this book. To be honest, I've got so much love going into this one. I absolutely love it. Literally just looking at it, I think I sparkle just as much as this when I have a look at it. So with this video, I decided to just talk in the video and rather than doing multiple little videos and doing a voice overlay, because I thought it would just be easier this way. So it's a little bit longer than my other ones. I'm gonna try to make videos where I'm literally working on a page, but I just tend to just sit down and stay focused and not have to worry about the camera. The purpose of my YouTube video is really just to share my work and not really do tutorial type stuff, because there's a lot out there already. There's a lot of folks that are already doing tutorials, and I'm just not, that's not my goal. I just want to share what I'm doing. And I think by sharing this type of work, it's really going to keep me focused to keep doing it. So if you like what I'm doing, just give me a thumbs up, follow my channel, and subscribe. That would be great, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great day.